All right, so before we go into adding notes and remove notes, let's go ahead and see if we can add, or at least be able to see some sort of dummy data showing at the bottom, right? Because we have data source, let's use that. But before we do that, of course, we need to have that infrastructure, right? Which is going to be at the bottom somewhere, bottom of the button. I'm going to have this list. So right there, after that scope there, I'm going to just put enter. First of all, I'm going to add a divider because I need that nice divider. And let's put a modifier here. I want padding about 10 dp. And then let's add a lazy column because that's what we use to load a list of items. Okay, let's use that. I'm going to pass items. In this case, make sure you pick the correct one. I'm going to use this items list there. And I'm going to pass what? I'm going to pass notes list there. And another lambda, say note. And here for now, I'm just going to say text and pass the note. Dot title, because this note is going to be an object. Where is this notes coming from? Well, we should be passing along in notes screen. So whatever this is called, we're going to pass that notes list, and voila. So because I know I have at the bottom here in this notes screen preview, I can actually pass that source of data. The notes, data source, and then I'm going to get the load notes as such. If we go ahead and split this, let's go ahead and refresh. And voila, you can see now we have our list of those notes, dummy data. Very good. Obviously, that's not what we're going for, but at least we know things are working. At least we're able to get information, get the data that we want. Okay, this is exciting. Now, if you want to run this actually to see something, we need to go back to our main activity because remember, this is what it's called when we actually run it to see on the screen. All right, so this is a mistake we all make. Note, data source, and load notes. Okay, let's go ahead and run. And there you have it. We have the same thing we saw, but at least now we know that things are working. Okay, so back to our code. Let's get rid of that. Now, this is not what we're going for. So we need to add some sort of a row that it looks nice, something like this. Nothing out of this world, but something nice. So at the bottom here, I'm going to create another function. So at composable, say function, and it's going to be note row. And I'm going to pass modifier because we should always do this. An optional one that I'm going to be passing. And let's finalize like that. Very good. And let's pass the note, right? We actually need the note so we can show. It's going to be a note object or type. And then on note clicked, because we want to make sure that when we click each row, something happens. We're going to pass the note object so we can do whatever we want to do with it. So unit like that. Okay, I hope this is making sense. So we always passing the responsibility per se to the calling function. All right, so there we go. So what I want to do here, I'm just going to start putting a surface. That always helps. Modifier, I'm going to use the modifier we're passing. So we customize things the right way. For DP all around. And then what I want to do, I'm going to use the clip function here. What this does is going to allow us to clip using a shape. And then here I'm going to say I want to clip it with a rounded corner shape. And the beauty here is just I can specify the sides that I want to clip. If you look closely, you can see that I only clipped the top end like that, right? So I can say top end, I want to clip by 33.dp. And then the bottom end, if I need to, I can do, or let's say bottom start, just to be dramatic here, by the same 33 dp. Oh, very cool. And then I'm going to say dot. Let's fill max width. Let's give it color. going to say color. This is going to be the color for the entire surface. So I'm going to say 0x and FF, DFE, then 6 EB. Okay, again, you can change by clicking. Once you have that hex, you can come click on the gutter and change to your color. But that looks good. Before I even go in further, let's also add elevation, about 6 dp. So next I'm going to add a column as such. And for this column here, I'm going to say add a modifier, and I'm going to make this clickable because I need that click event. We'll see later. And I want to also give a padding, say horizontal, of about 14 dp, and a vertical padding of about 6 dp. And continuing here, what I want to do is I want to say horizontal alignment. Alignment's going to be start, so all the way to the right. Okay. And now I'm just going to have fun by putting text. The first text I'm going to add here is going to be the note.title. And let's put a style. I'm going to use material, theme, typography, subtitle 1, actually 2, and then another text. This is going to be note, description, give it a style like this, and the last one is going to be note. I want the entry date. Now for the entry date here, I can do more because it will come in as a gibberish number. So what we're going to do, I'm going to say dot. I'm going to format, use a formatter here. So it's very important because as you can see, formatter type is going to be date time formatter object. So I'm going to start typing date type formatter object, and then I'm going to invoke the of pattern. This of patterns allow us to show dates in a different format. So I can say, for instance, July 18th or Wednesday, July 23. I can even have years of 1999, something like this. Okay, so that's what we are trying to pass here to say, okay, what is the pattern that we want to pass? Now there are a lot of patterns, right? For date time formatter, you can say date time formatter patterns on Google. You can find a lot of them, and they will look like something like this: E, comma, space, D, and then M, like this. Okay, so this will give us a nice format of the day of the week, and then the date and the month. All right, so, and then we're still inside of our text there. I can go back and put in a style, material, theme, typography, and let's say caption, make it smaller. Right, so if you go here and let's go ahead and refresh, we should see something different, hopefully. Of course, you won't see anything different because we're not calling the note row. What a waste of time. Okay, so here I'm going to call note row. Sorry, I'm just smiling here. And I'm going to pass our note. And then for on click, for now, I am just not going to do anything because we don't want to deal with it until later. So let's go ahead and refresh one more time. Hopefully we should see something pleasing to the eye. And voila, very nice. You can see it looks really, really nice because we changed. Let me make this perhaps bigger. You can look at it now because we changed the clip. We'll say the bottom start and top end, right? These, we added that clip and it looks really nice. But most importantly, look at the data that we have now. We have the actual title of our entry. We have the description, the actual entry, and the date. It says Thursday, the 28th of October. All right, so things are looking good. In fact, if I go ahead and run now this app on my emulator, or in your case, on your phone, in my case actually is on the phone, you can see that we have these nice entries. All of these are dummy data, but nonetheless, we have this infrastructure set up for us. Okay, so what's left to do now is to be able to add something like this, and then save it. When we save it, we want to be able to add it to this list. Okay, that's what we're going to be looking at next.